Chris and Brian here from Resolve Technology, and today we're going to talk about Microsoft 365 Copilot. Chris, do you have that link? Maybe you could bring that up
Yep.
on your screen. I don't know if you put it up on
Oh,
your screen.
yeah, I got it right.
But anyway, a few months back in the fall, this came out to enterprise customers, and right out of the gate, we had a client or two ask, how they get it. But most of the clients we work with are small or medium-sized businesses. With this out of the gate, you need 300 users, 300 or more. So we had to tell them, not available to you guys yet, but they don't have dates. But I would imagine sometime in 2024, they're going to start pushing this down to, the smaller customers, like business premium and things like that. I would think they would be stupid not to offer this. But anyway, you can see from this website, they've rolled it out to all the big names, all the big enterprise customers, and Visa, BP, Amgen, all these huge companies. So it's just a matter of time, but we wanted to just mention a few things that the Copilot has. Chris, you
Yeah.
want to step in?
Yeah, so you can also see here that it looks like they're going to have some kind of free version with, basic functionality, but it looks like Copilot for Microsoft 365 for some of these smaller businesses will be like $30. And they're introducing this Microsoft Copilot Studio. Some of the things you're going to see with this is already we've seen in like things like ChatGPT, where you can create custom GPTs and use certain add-ons or add-ins, I guess you could say, built into the AI functionality. You can go in there now with, at least with OpenAI's ChatGPT. You can see a bunch of people made custom ones for, reviewing images and photography, the coding ones, any subject, there's probably a custom one out there made.
Yeah, remember before we brought this up, Chris and I were chatting about this a little bit. You got to remember that Microsoft is a big stakeholder in ChatGPT or OpenAI, whatever you want to call it. So they have huge investments in it. So they have access to a lot of the technology, and they're going to be rolling out some of these features, but they're going to be Microsoft specific. What's some of the other stuff like Outlook and maybe some of the other stuff that you have Teams up there?
Yeah, so this article I think was from 2023, right? The end of 20, and it's saying next year new Copilot Teams. We're seeing that for Outlook, Word, and Excel as well. They're saying early 2024. But you can see in the Teams meeting here, they got this little Copilot button, and see it's allowing them to, it's doing all kinds of visualize and whiteboard your talking point, and it'll put it up on the screen in Teams. So it's just trying to, enhance the experience with Teams, Outlook. Then they also have the one in Outlook here, like when you're in your calendar, you ask it to schedule a meeting, there's a little Copilot button. This looks like it's the new Outlook desktop client, not the old client that a lot of people still use.
Yeah.
And it looks at your calendar for you. So I guess this is really, they really want to streamline people's workflow.
Yeah, I agree. This is all about productivity, just like ChatGPT. It's all about productivity. We certainly use it internally, the OpenAI stuff, and it's just going to become more and more useful. It's going to make us more and more productive.
Schools are having quite the challenge with it, though. You see them trying.
Oh, yeah.
They have certain, the plagiarism tools that now detect AI and think, you know what I mean? So this is going to be really crazy few years with this technology.
This is interesting when you bring up here too. This up on the screen, you got Viva Insights. I was always wondered how they're going to weave Viva into all this Microsoft 365 stuff. I really didn't see a place for Viva, but maybe it's gonna tie in with this Microsoft Loop and SharePoint. And if you're on the platform, I guess it's going to help you find and consolidate information, because right now stuff is like all over the place in
Yeah.
Microsoft 365, right?
Yeah. And you get a lot of organizations too, depending the field, that have, knowledge silos. Everything's siloed, you know what I mean? This could potentially bring some of that together.
I agree. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but you know, I can't remember what I ate last night, right?
Yeah.
So if there's something that can prompt me as to, you know, what's important, like you were showing Outlook, you know, what's important in terms of meetings, what's an important email, right? Like you put some parameters into it and then the
Yeah.
AI goes and based on your parameters gives you the information like an assistant would, like a human assistant.
Well, I think it depends on the training data. You know what I mean? We saw that with the early days of ChatGPT. Depending on what, what the training parameters were, would determine the success of the of AI, of their AI, their language model.
Right. Agreed. So could we, because we kind of pulled back a little bit on ChatGPT because like when we were using it to help us with some scripts and other things, you know, some more technical stuff, we found when they put the bumpers on and, you know, put the brakes on a little bit on AI because everybody was, you know, talking about it taking over the world, it became less valuable. But I noticed, at least with ChatGPT, it's gotten better. So like I think there's going to be astronomical improvements over the next couple of years. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're seeing it get better because you've upgraded to GPT-4 over there.
That's
But
true. Yes. Well, I'm
um,
actually paying for it, whereas
but
before I had the free version.
yeah. Now, I think the next iteration will probably be even crazier. I think they have a sneak peek on GPT-5 with certain customizations and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, they're going to see anticipate changes in personalization and customizability, like how you customize.
So yeah, you mentioned that. I heard recently, I heard them talking about incorporating more video in it. So now you already have images, text, obviously, but now the next iteration, I think they're going to be more interested in the video stuff because you got things like YouTube and I mean Bard's already included. I don't know if you've seen this, but Bard can do a summary of videos in the newer version of Bard.
I tried. I don't know if you had luck with, take a screenshot in Windows and paste it into GPT. It's inconsistent. Sometimes it would tell me like it's only an AI model and it can't, read the image. But then other times it seems to work and it can assess it. I think it depends on the GPT. Like I tried one of the custom GPTs and it seemed like it recognized the images I put in, but that functionality has been a little inconsistent for.
Can it recognize the text that's in it that are in images?
Well, I haven't really had a chance to do much with it, but I know they added the functionality where you can upload a picture now.
Yeah.
But the responses I got seem to be hit or miss. I
Okay.
might just be using it wrong. I wasn't, I stopped using it for like a month or so. We've been busy, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. 'Cause I've only scratched the surface and I like you, I'm busy. I don't have a lot of time to test different things out. But the latest thing that I figured out was that whole video thing in Bard and doing the summary. But
I've been testing out too many things.
and I tested out a little bit the Chat GPT custom GPTs, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So do
And
you have anything else you want to add? Oh, the
yeah.
Copilot button. This is kind of like semi useful for maybe for somebody, but not so much for us.
Yeah, it looks like it's next to the right alt key based on the screenshot here, but it looks like they're going to add we already have the Windows key, the famous Windows key that, but now I guess they want to add a Copilot button to keyboards that will, summon your AI companion.
Interesting. It says Microsoft keyboards. So you know you can buy the Microsoft branded keyboards eventually, I would imagine everybody. And plus you can a lot of the fancy keyboards, you can just create your own AI key anyway, right?
Yeah, you can do macros and stuff depending on the mouse and keyboard you have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't see, for me at least, it's not really something I'm that interested in. But I see us more, going without a keyboard and mouse where it's all voice active, where you
Yeah,
talk
that's
to it. And, I think it were because you got all these smart speakers now that have, some sort of AI nested in there. And you can, talk to it, hey Alexa, hey Google, things like that.
Yeah, maybe finally we can make some of that voice AI more useful. I
Yeah.
know when I go to use, oh,
Yeah, it doesn't work. I'm not good with it. With Siri, especially on like an
yeah,
iPhone,
Siri.
it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, Siri, and I certainly don't use Cortana. I
Yeah.
try to
Well, haven't
disable it.
they got rid of Cortana? Haven't I know I still see it on you'll see it like on like a Windows 10 install, but I thought they killed off Cortana.
Yeah, we really don't have clients using it or requesting it. So like, yeah, it comes on by default, but yeah, you see websites where you want it, where it shows you how to shut it off because it's kind of annoying. So
Yeah.
I think over time, all these we'll end up using them at some point. It's just they need to fix them a little bit, make them more user friendly.
Yeah. Well, I know Apple has don't I don't really play around with this, but there's a lot of people that mess around with the Apple shortcuts. You know, that app where you can like create macros or assign a button, that new key they have on the iPhone to do something specific other than, silence.
Yeah,
So I see AI, maybe they integrate AI in some way to like, optimize how you use your phone or your computer or your laptop or the tablet, things like that.
yeah, we'll see. A lot of changes on the horizon. I know that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris. Good talking to you.
Yep. Like
Bye.